Greetings, everyone. Mr. Rona Mac here. Going to get into a little Mad Max today, but I thought I would add a little exposition before I do so. There are certain movies that you watch for the first time when you're just at that perfect age that you're not too hypercritical and it just catches your imagination. And Road Warrior was that for me. I was probably 12 years old or so when I saw it the first time. And if I remember correctly, I was at my grandmother's house. She had cable with like movie channels and stuff, so I was able to see it. Just the lone wanderer in an absurd muscle car driving through a post-apocalyptic wasteland with just him and his dog trying to survive in a harsh and uncaring world. It was just wonderful. It just captured me. Going back and looking at it now, I could see where perhaps it would seem a little silly or, unrealistic or whatever, but I don't care. I still like it. And it was a world I always wanted to be in and experience. Plus, Mel Gibson was awesome before he went crazy. Well, he's still awesome. Let's face it, he's a good actor. And I love the movie. And I really like the game. And this is a game that I don't play for long periods of time, but I'm just pecking away at it because it's a world I like being in. Well, you'll see when we get into the game play itself. But, Road Warrior, Mad Max, it's an interesting series. There's only 3 original movies with Mel, and then the recreation Fury Road, which actually I quite liked, even though some people seem to hate. There's just it's sort of a, I don't know, ironic style. I don't want to say it's sort of a satire because, throughout the movies, it's made apparent that gas is extremely rare and people are fighting over it, but yet they all drive these obscene 12-cylinder gas-guzzling monstrosities. It makes no sense whatsoever, and it's brilliant because of that. I just love it. So without further ado or rambling nonsense, let's go and check out Mad Max. Alright, we're popping into the game now. Mad Max. The setting and style of this game matched the reboot movie more than my, honored classic versions of the game, but it still works. The game looks very well, and it's optimized wonderfully for a PC, and it, for the most part, runs pretty smoothly. And you'll see once we get in here, it's a pretty large open world. I've upgraded my Max quite a bit, so he's got, I think, top tier armor and ammo, guns, everything. So got that going for us. There's these little hideouts across the map, and you can see this is the map, the entire playable area. A few areas I haven't been yet. I need to get up to Gastown because they apparently have the V8 engine that I so desperately desire. But like I said, I just I putter with this game. I play for 20-30 minutes when I get home from work. You can see this. This is Jeet's home base. He's like a local warlord. I've cleared his region out, and now I'm working with Gut Gash, and that's where I am right now. And like all these areas are places that you can go and find loot. The red ones are like control points for the bad guys, as they were, although everyone's kind of bad in this game, including Mad Max. You just clear out stuff as you go. Once the threat level gets low, you get bonuses, better equipment, you can upgrade your car, etc. Let's look at the car. You can change your car style. You can add, better tires, better shocks. You can upgrade the rims. You can change the car body style, and there's lots of different stuff you can do. I've got the best V6 engine.
I know you made good on the steel deal with the old man, but we ain't good yet.
Yeah. And like these bases, they start out with like just a handful of starving people. These guys worship like they think there's going to be a great flood, so that's why their base is in this ship, even though clearly this ship would never float if there was a flood. So I don't know. The guy's kind of a weirdo. The boss, he's up there. You do side missions and stuff for them, and they give you better equipment and perks and stuff. And what I'm going to do, these little things are convoys, and they basically drive around on this circuit over and over and over again until you clear them out. Then they turn green, and the threat level will go down. But we're going to hang out with Chum Bucket here. He's this strange little hunchback dude.
See? The deadliest of storms are coming.
Every time I leave, these giant sandstorms come and they like damage your car and you. Sometimes there's scrap. Scrap is basically spare parts, and it's sort of the currency of this game. But I don't want to deal with the sandstorm right now, so I'm going to go back into the hideout, and then we'll leave again.
No limbs blown off. Praise be to the angel.
Okay, now we'll leave again, and it's assumed that we waited out the storm. Okay, so now we're clear. This car is sort of
If you're looking to gain the favor of the gods, you could always do a death run.
Chum Bucket talks too much. Sometimes he's funny, but sometimes he's annoying. He's like a mechanical genius, so he does all the upgrading on Max's car. This body style is like a 66 Mustang, which is a car that I used to drive when I was younger, so it pleases me. You can change the body style to the like Ford Falcon, which is the sort of iconic Mad Max car, but I like the Mustang. You get weapons on there. He's got a harpoon launcher, which is why it kind of works that you have this sidekick, because you can fire either explosive harpoons or like a cable attached one that you can pull parts off of enemy cars and stuff. And then Mad Max can also fire his shotgun out the window of the car, which initially is the only weapon you have, and once you get all the cooler harpoon launchers and stuff like that, it makes the game a lot more, especially the car combat stuff, a lot more exciting. But let's go see if we can find this convoy. The car stuff in this game worked out to be a lot better than I thought, but if you want to try to drive in a mouse and keyboard, I do not recommend it, because with the keyboard controls, it's either on or off. You don't get that kind of gradual, fine control that you really need. So I would recommend using a game controller for sure on this game, just because it makes the driving so much funner. And when you're driving at speed and try to aim, it'll go into kind of a slow motion mode, which is what makes it, I think, work just so well, because otherwise aiming would be impossible, and just the car combat stuff would be a complete drag. Listen to the sound. So this is like the most souped up V6 engine I can get.
These convoys, they're all full.
I have to get all the way to Gastown, and as you get closer to Gastown, the enemy vehicles get tougher and harder to defeat. So I've been having an issue of getting that far. Like I said, I'm in no rush for this game. I'm just doing this completionist style. Okay, let's get the explosive.
Powerful artifact on its hood. Huh? It would serve us well to wield
So you have to
such
get the
mysterious
weed
force.
truck, but usually it's more fun just to take out all the other
Try.
cars
Don't feel from the belching fire.
before you do that. I've also got nitrous injectors on here. And a pretty decent ram. Okay. Don't follow me.
He left his mark to seek glory.
Your convoy's not so tough.
Sweet spot. Behind his panels. There.
He's gonna get away.
Finish him.
It's a lot nicer now that I've got the higher ammo capacity, and when you upgrade the strongholds high enough, they just they give you ammo as you go in because you've helped them, so they're a little more generous. It makes the game a lot easier and more fun because you don't have to be constantly stopping to resupply and stuff. I'll see if I can show you the other harpoon. You can pull, like, if I can aim the tire, you can pull the tires off their cars and stuff, and that takes them out of action, which works. And sometimes you can target individual people. And drag the people out as well. I don't know if I can hit just the tire. It's nicer. Initially your car is so weak, you couldn't fight two cars and you'd be so damaged you'd be out of commission. I'm going to use the explosive harpoons just to end this little fiasco. Hurry up and reload. Alright. When you destroy these convoys too, you get these hood ornaments. So you can see I've got one in the back. They just give you basically like 10% boost to handling, or 10% boost to weapons damage, and then you just decide which two ornaments you want to have in your car, because you can only have a front one and back one at any given time. I think I have handling and acceleration or something, I don't remember. The other funny thing is, because I'm American, I always get in on the left side of the car, even though it's an Australian car, so you always have to get in the right. And if you get in the left side over and over, Chum Bucket will just say, it seems like you don't know where the driver's seat is, or something like that. It was pretty funny when he said that. But I don't know. This game's really fun. The car combat is what I really enjoy. But the hand-to-hand stuff, if you're out of the car, I'm just going to show you one of these little loot locations. You have to drive by these to figure out where they are, or you can help people, give wandering travelers water and stuff, and they give you sort of like intel on the location of stuff that is around the desert. This whole portion, the southern half of the map, is actually dried up ocean. Once you get into the northern part, which I've been in a couple times, but as I said, the enemies there are quite a bit tougher. Okay, I'll just get in a fist fight. And it's essentially exactly the same as Arkham stuff. I've got so many upgrades and stuff that just regular run-of-the-mill enemies are so weak they're kind of ridiculously easy. But it's immensely satisfying just to beat the living shit out of people. The shivs are expendable knives for whatever reason. You can't recover them after you use them. But when you get to strongholds and stuff, you reload. They're extremely useful in tougher fights where you're fighting 20 or 30 like varied types of opponents. Because being able to take care of somebody instantly is very helpful, especially when they're higher powered, super annoying opponents. Some of these guys are a little more tricky, I think. Let's see. Let's get out of here. And you can pick up weapons also. Those guys are a little more annoying, but when you hit them with a ginormous pipe wrench, they're not so much of a problem. I don't know, this game's, there's nothing exceptional about any of it other than the fact that it just works and plays so well together. I also like that they, when you're looting locations, they just tell you you've got 2 out of 3 things, so you don't walk around looking and wondering if you had missed something. How do I get up to that chest? Is that up around the corner? Unfortunately, you can't like just hang on to wrenches and stuff. You have to drop them when you're getting your car, which is silly, but it would be nice to be able to, just carry a big stick with you once in a while. I don't want that. I want the scrap. Okay. And then this location's looted. Sometimes you'll find like little photos and, well, I suppose I gotta take a look at the collectible stuff here. You go around to, they call them history relics, but you just find like pictures.
That car wouldn't last long out here. Not without some major adjustments.
And Max will make a little comment about it. I don't know. It's just ambiance kind of stuff. It's interesting. I like it. So, I think what I'm going to do now is just drive you up to the northern part of the map, and you can see you find gas tanks like this around. You can use them to sometimes you need them to blow open doors. I also keep a spare. You can only have 1 spare in the back of the car, but you'll notice he drops the wrench when he gets in, and then you can see the gas meter on the car. Actually, what I should do right now is find, where's the, yeah. This guy's like a desert shaman or something. And once you perform enough tasks, you get tokens, and basically you get power-ups for Max, which makes him be able to find more ammo or acquire more water, get better gas mileage. It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of silly, but it's a video game aspect of it. But I'll just go to him and then exchange my tokens, and we'll show you the upgrade system. But
More doom flies are ready.
they're just random bandits that drive around too. Sometimes they'll get tired and leave me alone, but other times they just continue to be annoying. You can see initially you have to stop and pick up the scrap, otherwise you'll lose it, but I've established relations with the warlord here enough so that he sends people out to collect the scrap for me. So, you know, it's just as you progress in the game, it gets easier. You don't have to stop and get out of your car and pick up junk and then get back in the car.
There's the old headlight of thirst.
See, there's a old lighthouse up there because this was before the apocalypse. It was under the ocean, so that's why there's a lot of like wrecked hulks of ships and cargo containers that lay around here. Okay, I gotta figure out how to get up to where he is. I don't think I've been to this particular. You can drive off-road, it just doesn't work as well. Depends on what tires you have on your car as well. Can I get up this way? I don't think I'm intended to. Probably have to go up other side. Well, I may do this as a. That's gotta be it right there. Have to walk in. I'm gonna make this a two-parter, I think, because I want to go. Want to go north. So if you walk away from your car, you also have a flare gun.
I gotta get to him.
You can shoot the flare gun and Chum Bucket will drive the car to your location. So you're not tied to it, but usually it's the quickest and most efficient way to get around the wasteland. So we'll go talk to this guy. He'll talk some mystical, crazy nonsense and then just blow psychedelic powder in our face, and then we go up in level. It's all very strange. I don't know what this has to do with anything, but maybe it'll come into play later. Hi.
You again. I thought you wanted to know nothing more of yourself. What year is it?
I don't know.
How old are you?
I don't know. I'm here. That's all I know.
And where is that?
Hell? That's how it feels.
And that's where you are, my friend. What was that about the Plains of Silence?
I'll search them out and cross them in.
Did I not tell you? We're already there. On the boundless Plains of Silence. Look again.
So then you go into upgrade mode, and basically I'm just doing a balanced thing, or as much as I can. Munition, channeling, attunement, gas mileage. I've got tons of tokens, so. Yeah, we'll do 1, 2, okay. So everything's like nearly maxed out. Yeah, that'll work. Then he wakes up, just all the more efficient. And you can see there's like smaller base camps that you can capture that collect scrap for you also. So the longer you play, the more resources you get, the easier it is. So I guess I'll cut this video off and then do a follow-up part 2, and we'll go north and look at the more interesting map, I think, which I haven't explored that much of. So I'll be back in just a